So in this video, I'm talking about masking in autism or Asperger's in women and masking. What is masking? How does it impact people? And what can we do to learn more about it and also help people? So buckle up and get ready. Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Dan. I have Asperger's syndrome and ADHD. I make weekly videos all about this stuff. So if you're new around here and you want to learn more, remember to hit the subscribe button by clicking that notification bell down below. And if you're watching on any other platform, make sure to follow me to see daily videos like this. Okay, so there is something really interesting about autistic females or people who are on the autism spectrum and female. This is all to do with masking, and I'm going to get right into it right now. I'd say one of the biggest struggles that face autistic females across the board, and this isn't just females who are, struggling in certain areas or having a difficult time. I think this is all autistic females in general. What is it that is so impactful in their lives? Or what's the number one thing that impacts them in a daily life? And I would have to say this is masking. Now masking actually impacts autistic females to a point or level where I think sometimes they're actually misdiagnosed or underdiagnosed because they mask in such a way that prevents the actual people from understanding it. And I'm going to get through all of it right now, just so that you can kind of get to where I am, because I think this is so important, especially for advocating for autistic women, or if you're an autistic woman and you're watching this right now and you want to learn more about it and want to learn more about masking in general. So I'm going to do that whilst I'm just tidying up my area here. So the first one is, why do people with Asperger's, or why do women with Asperger's are often undiagnosed? And because when you think about this, right, masking is a form of pretending that you can fit in a normal situation, or pretending that everything's okay and you're okay with that situation, or you're okay dealing with that situation. And this could look like many different forms. It could be like out with friends and socializing and being like, yeah, I'm cool with friends. I can socialize, I can hang. When in actual fact, you're kind of dying inside. And then when you get home, you're kind of like, it was the most painful thing I've had to do. I had to go and, be with so many people in a certain situation, and then you've had to pretend, become a character, if you will, just to fit in. And that's not who we are. We're humans and we're autistic, so we're going to have difficulties and stresses in areas. And because of this, when you're going through the diagnostic criteria or the process with a professional, the professional is going to say, hey, do you have any issues in socializing? And people who know you or know about you are going to be like, actually, no, because I've seen them go to pizza parties and pool parties and they're absolutely fine. There's no issues there. Because of this, it leads to a underdiagnosis or a missed diagnosis or a untrue diagnosis. And what you'll see is the underdiagnosing of autistic women. So whereas women on the autism spectrum are actually probably more common than males, the diagnosis is the other way around. There's more males commonly diagnosed with autism than there are females. This is crazy, right? Okay, but what does masking really look like in daily life? Right, so what does masking look like in daily life? Masking can look very much like this. Say you're an autistic female and you are wanting to go to school, university, or even just work. You're working a job and you go there. Now, before you leave the house, it's horrible because that's your comfort zone. That's your safe space. You know that when you're inside your house, you're comfortable and nothing else is going to top that, right? However, as soon as you go out of the house, what tends to happen is you then have to pretend to be someone because you have to engage in small talk with somebody. So the first person you see at the bus stop, like, oh, weather's good. You're like, yeah, okay. But whereas autistic men would be like, I don't deal with weather talk. I'm not going to engage in this, whatever. I'll be looked as being odd for not doing it. Autistic females will feel the pressure and societal need to want to kind of converse and have that conversation and be like, yeah, the weather's nice and stuff. And it's painful. It's difficult. Then you go to work and then you'll clock in. Oh, good morning. How was your weekend? Blah, blah, blah. And then the autistic female again then has to pretend that she's interested in this conversation when you're not. Because I have a rule, and autistic people see the world like this. And let me know in the comments if you feel like this, because I feel like most autistic people I know feel like this. They will not say anything to other people unless it's productive to the group as a whole. As in, like, if this is not going to improve conditions for mankind, then why are we even saying it, right? Because we're intellectual. We're people who are like thinking outside of the box. We're thinking on a different scale. So all of this talk, imagine this all day along the water cooler, lunchtime, meetings, everybody you see, clients, everything, even friends. And then you come home and then it's it's over. You don't have to mask anymore and you can be yourself. But what is the toll that's being taken? What happens when you are an autistic person who has masked, who's done this all day? Well, this is the emotional toll that happens. You come home and you hit emotional burnout. You've had to pretend to be somebody all day, feeling uncomfortable, just completely distressed all day, but trying to hold it together. And then you come home and just, blah, you just like let loose. It all comes out. You feel emotionally drained. You're tired. You've got what a sensory hangover, an emotional hangover. And the scary part is you've got to do it all again tomorrow or even tonight. You could have friends come over for dinner. Your family might want to come over to see you. You may have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and they want to come over and they want a hand. And it's like, gosh darn it. Like, how do we get out of that? How do we become not that? You know what I mean? And that to me is probably one of the biggest things and the most disabling things about autism in females for the female perspective is that masking kicks their butt constantly. But some of the other parts of that is apparent is that masking can actually delay some of the support in which you most viably need. Now, if you're an autistic female, think about this. You're maybe even self-diagnosed and or you're diagnosed and you want support, you want help, you need maybe it's governmental support, maybe it's support from your friends and family. But when they say, "Hey, how's it going?" You're gonna go, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm good. I'm fine." You're not. You're dying inside. Like you are like, I need help," you know? And that creates a deficit of support. You have a lack of support or a lack of people who are there to help you and support you in the way where you know, you need a group, you need a team around you, you need a support network. And this is one of the things I talk about in a lot of my videos, like the autistic support network. And it's your personal autistic support network. It's not just like, oh, I go to the YMCA or I go to my local clinic and they're my support network. We all have support networks, but certain support networks consist of many things. And it could be professionals in the industry helping you out, helping you navigate through life, because life can be a mega doozy if you don't have any support in place. And this masking kind of conveys that and it actually kicks butt. So that being said, if you're an autistic female, just remember that there is help available. Don't try and mask too much. Try and be yourself. There's nothing wrong with masking, and I'll talk about it in a second, like the good and the bad. This is today's sponsor. Hey, just a heads up, guys. If there are any of you out there who are autistic and you're finding it hard or struggling to cope with situations right now, I actually have a program really affordable called Coping Secrets or Autism Coping Secrets. Now, you can get access to this by visiting the link in the description down below and looking for Coping Secrets course, or you can go to learnautism.net/coping secrets right now and get access to that course. It's highly recommended. It's my bestseller. Most people that come through my programs will take this one first and they swear by it. It's a 7-step program. It's really good. Check it out. Okay, so the second to last thing I want to talk about here is how unmasking is the path to living an authentic life and actually healing from those things.